And here we are. I'm back from my mini vacation during the middle of the week. Happy pre-Friday, aka Thursday, February 27th, 2025. Like I said, man, it was such a relaxing time not having to deal with work for 2 days. Come back here, and it's back to the grind. Back to it, already getting yelled at. Boy, did I not miss this at all. I was enjoying my time in Boise. I stopped in Twin Falls. I have now been, by the way, to every Walmart in every major city in Idaho. You can be like, Peaches, you haven't been up to Coeur d'Alene. I said major city. Boise, Twin Falls, Idaho Falls, maybe. Pocatello, I've been to the Walmart there. Rexburg, been to the Walmart there. Oh, I hope all is well with you, though. It was such a great time to see Disturbed, 3 Days Grace, and Sevendust at the Ford Idaho Center Arena. It was really, really cool to also run into as many listeners as I did. Got the chance to hang out finally with Big J and Nick from 100.3 The X over there. Had the chance to hang out with Chris Payne of KDOT in Reno, their rock station. Actually, I chatted with him and hung out with him for the most, compared to everyone else, hung out with him the most. Was down on the floor with him. Also, shout out to Forrest from the Eagle. Oh, I forgot the other two people's names. Todd and somebody else with the Boise pop station. It was just an overall fun group. We all had a great time. There's no egos or anything like that. We're all just hanging out, talking about, radio and how long it's been or since we've seen the good live show. I don't know. Different various topics. It was really, really cool to meet Disturbed in 3 Days Grace. Those two bands were awesome. I saw a lot of comments on my posts, even going back to the whole, man, did I not miss it at all? But when I looked at my posts, I saw people were like, why didn't you mention Sevendust? Why is there no mention of Sevendust? They're cool too. That's the only reason why I would go to the show. I wasn't able to meet Sevendust. I wish I could have. They put on a great 30-minute little tiny set before the two bands went on stage, before 3 Days Grace took. I wish they were on the stage longer. I thought Sevendust was quite a lot of fun. I even turned to Chris after their set was over and went, oh, that's it? And yeah, sure enough, it was only 30 minutes long, but 3 Days Grace, it was awesome to see with Adam again. You can tell everyone just knew all of their tracks. Every single one of them was a hit. Disturbed was really, really cool. I messed up in posting the video from the concert on our Instagram, so I'll have to go back in and fix that at KBarrett 101 FM. But yeah, if you want to give me a call, I am here now, 208-535-1015. I forgot to point out during the beginning part of the show that I'm going to have Johnny Hawkins on the Zoom call later this afternoon around the time when To Peach Their Own starts, so I might need to make To Peach Their Own online exclusive for this afternoon. I'll be chatting with him about Carnal. They're on the same tour with Disturbed and 3 Days Grace. They're just on a different leg. They're going to be there with Daughtry. Is 3 Days Grace a part of that one too? I think they are. I think it's... No, wait. Let me look that up. It might just be Disturbed, Daughtry, and nothing more. Disturbed tour. Let me just look at the image here. I know it's the 25th anniversary of a special guest, Daughtry, and nothing more. So yeah, not even with 3 Days Grace on the other stops there. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. But yeah, they're going to be hitting up the East Coast with the band. And I know Nothing More will be in Boise May 6th at the Knitting Factory on our concert calendar at riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar. I'll be chatting with him. And then also, I'm hoping tomorrow I can play the entire new Architects album from start to finish during the 5 p.m. hour. I got a very busy next couple of days here, but it's all worth it. Like I said before, when I met those listeners at the show, they were very thankful for K-Bear. It was even great talking with Chris from KDOT, talking to him about the music that they play versus us, and he was utterly shocked. And I mean shocked that we play Slaughter to Prevail, Knocked Loose, Lorna Shore, Sleep Token, Motionless in White, Bad Omens, all the good stuff. He knew about all those bands. He loves all those bands. Electric Callboy, we were talking about too. And I said, yeah, we play them. And he goes, you guys do? What? Any hour of the day? I'm like, yeah, man. We'll blow your mind. So I think he's going to check us out, hopefully through the free KBarrett 101 app, which, by the way, you can download as well. I don't know if you're planning on going anywhere for spring break at all, if you even want to leave for spring break, if you're in school, spring break is a thing. But if you're an adult, I mean, if you're just working You can request those days off. Will your boss give them to you? Maybe. But don't go down to Florida because, college students, they all get to take a break around the same time from their studies and go off to the beach and all of that and party, which means it's also the season for cities, especially in Florida, to warn spring breakers to stay away. This guy, I can't even say his last name. He's a Volusia County sheriff down in Florida, Michael Chit Wood, Wood. He went so far as to say, we really don't want those spring breakers around here. Nobody wants them here. And so they're going to be enforcing the rules strictly down in Florida, which is no fun, right? But I do understand, like, people are pigs. They'll trash the beach. They'll leave stuff everywhere. There's going to be a group of people, tons of people that need to clean it up. Otherwise, it's just going to ruin the beach. Nobody really knows how to pick up after themselves, really, for the most part. It's kind of stupid. I never really did anything for spring break growing up, even in college, never did. I was always a loser by myself or hanging out with a couple of friends here and there, but they all had other stuff that they had to do. I don't think any of us really went on some extravagant spring break vacation. I think my spring break this year is going to happen in April when I go home for a week and get to go see AC/DC. That's my spring break. Oh, good for you, Peaches. Peaches Pit Party on K-Bear 101. I was thinking about it. I saw an advertisement. I don't think it was an advertisement. I think I just somehow came across it, a Canon camera for $280 or so on their website. It was a decent camera, great looking. Look, it's refurbished, but it looked like it would be useful and it would take some great pictures. And I was thinking of potentially doing one of those things like what Victor suggested me to do before, get the 0% interest credit card and buy one of those, pay it off month by month. It's $200 something is not that much. I could easily pay that off pretty fast. And I would love to be able to apply for the photo pass at any concert. I was really wanting to take some great photos at the Disturbed show so I can get them uploaded. I noticed 100.3 The X over in Boise, they have their own photographer that's down there in the pit. And I was watching him do his thing, and I was thinking maybe if I were to do concert photography, that if I were to go in front of everybody at the rail, that they would just boo me and tell me to get out of the way, right? Because that's what happened to me at the Volbeat Hailstorm show. I was near the back of the pit, and I've talked about this story a couple of times on the air, talking to Jade and Victor, and I feel something hitting my back, and it hurts. I'm like, what is going on? Who's hitting me? I turn around, it was some old man whipping me with his lanyard to tell me that he paid like $500 for the front row of seats and that he couldn't see behind me. And it's like, dude, you could have paid a whole lot less and gotten into the pit, but that's besides the point. You shouldn't be whipping people, or you should just try to tap them on the shoulder and go, hey, excuse me, not whipping somebody. That guy had a lot of guts to whip somebody that was like twice his size right in front of him. I mean, if I was somebody violent, I would have turned around. It would have been bad, right? Luckily, I got out of his way and said, hey, sorry. I was even at the Disturbed show. I turned around and there's 3 like way smaller people behind me. I said, dude, guys, get in front. What are you doing? You didn't pay money to see my back. Go in front of me, watch the show, and have fun. And this right here is your Shot Clock Sports Update. The Akron Rubber Ducks, the AA affiliate of the Cleveland Guardians, are going to play under a different name on July 11th. The team will be called the Akron Cheese Salads, named after a dish that is unique to Akron, Ohio. The cheese salad is a side dish with lettuce, thick slice of tomato, radishes, black olives, other salad favorites topped with a mountain of shredded mozzarella cheese. That sounds awful. I'm a huge fan of salad, but why would you want a thick slice of tomato and radishes and all that together? I mean, to each their own, I guess. Future Hall of Famer J.J. Watt retired from football in 2022, but he continues to sort of joke about returning to play, claiming he's still in shape. So another future Hall of Famer, Rob Gronkowski, also retired in 2022. He's not even joking about coming out of retirement. When asked about rumors of a return, Gronk replied, "Crazy, bro," adding, "Now it's time to relax a little. No football." The Miami Dolphins and Minnesota Vikings have once again topped the NFL Players Association report card, finishing first and second for the second consecutive year. Nearly 1,700 NFL players graded their teams on stuff like treatment of families, locker rooms, training facilities. And while the Dolphins and Vikings scored high, the Arizona Cardinals landed at the bottom of the list, prompting the team to issue a statement: "We will continue to explore all the other ways, large and small, that we can get better in every single area of our operation." Other lowlights from the report card included New York Jets owner Woody Johnson getting an F for installing a culture of fear. That's stupid. The Arizona Cardinals and the Cleveland Browns earning an F- for their locker rooms. That's pretty crazy. An F-. I would love to see a Hard Knocks episode, a Hard Knocks series on the Arizona Cardinals for specifically for that reason. Like, they need to step it up. I would love to see the behind the scenes of it all, get to know how they're going to fix it, if they're going to fix it, or if they're just going to be like, hey, let's have a pizza party, and that will improve everything, right? That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Barrel 101. We've talked about this subject matter plenty of times, like little noises that irritate you, pet peeves that you might have. Well, this person on Reddit posted on the Am I the Jerk forum, kind of a gross question, not really, but her fiance gets angry at her for leaving the dinner table right after dinner. For what reason? I don't know. But the reason is that in the past month, he started making these gross sucking noises to clean between his teeth, and it just makes her grossed out. You know, he refuses to take it to the bathroom and use floss or anything else. He insists this is the only way he can do it. Now, the very simple solution is to have him do it in the other room when you're not around, right? My dad is the very same way when it comes to just randomly getting up during dinner. He can't sit for too long. He has to, for some reason, get up and walk around, fix things, or wash dishes, find an excuse to get up from the table. He makes the chewing noises too. He'll go, mwah, mwah, and it used to annoy the crap out of me. I'm so glad I eat dinner by myself in my own apartment. I can make noise, and nobody's going to be bothered. K-Barrel 101, just like how we gave away tickets for Disturbed, 3 Days Grace, and Sevendust at the Ford Idaho Center Arena, we are also giving away tickets now to Dropkick Murphys and Bad Religion with the Mainliners at the Portneuf Health Trust Amphitheater in Pocatello, Friday, August 1st. Just sign up within the apps, once on the K-Bear app, once on the Alt app, once more on the Cannonball app to earn those 3 entries. You can just sign up on one of the apps and leave it like that, and just that will be your entry, your one and only entry into the drawing. Dropkick Murphys, Bad Religion, the Mainliners, going to be live in Pocatello. It's going to be a fun show. We want to see you there, so make sure to sign up now. Don't forget to. Nothing more on K-Barrel 101, House on Sand featuring Eric If I Prevail. The reason why I am not able to do live callers for the Peach Their Own today is that because I'm going to be interviewing Johnny Hawkins of Nothing More right about now on Zoom, and then I'll have to prep it for you, and then I'll have to either put it on the air or just say, hey, it's going to be an online exclusive interview, which you could possibly find on our YouTube channel at KBarrel 101 RMG. I just asked the simple, stupid question, what's your favorite color? There you go. You can answer it if you want to on the KBarrel 101 Idaho Rock and Metal Facebook group. Aqua Blue is mine. Go answer that. It's better than, I would say that question's better than what I was hearing from a particular radio station this morning talking about how it's National Toast Day. And then he asked the question, what do you put on your toast? Yeah. Which question's worse? That one, obviously. So what's your favorite color? You can let me know in the K-Bear group, K-Bear 101 Idaho Rock and Metal. You want to talk about useless research? You ready for this? A groundbreaking revelation that TikTok and Instagram might be spreading medical misinformation. They really just mispronounced misinformation. Shocking, I know, because nothing screams trusted healthcare professional like a 22-year-old influencer with a green light and an affiliate code. A study from the University of Sydney found that influencers promoting medical tests, things like full-body MRIs and genetic screenings, tend to highlight the benefits while conveniently leaving out the risks. Who could have guessed that people whose job is selling stuff might not be the best source for medical advice? Dr. Brooke Nickel, the lead researcher, warned that these posts could lead to overdiagnosis, unnecessary treatments, but, you know, if a TikTok star with zero medical background says you need a full body scan, just in case, who are doctors to argue, right? It's like those people that were trying to argue against me about posting what they thought was a fake tour poster. They thought the whole Summer of Loud poster that I put in the K-Bear group was fake. I'm like, yeah, I took the time out of my day to Photoshop this poster together for a show in Salt Lake City, tried to get your hopes up, and then went, ha, no, just kidding. No, why would I do something like that? It's like me arguing with a cardiologist about why I should eat McDonald's every single day because it's good for my health. For a second, I was feeling sorry for this hiker that got lost in northwestern China for 10 days. He was on a hiking adventure and he survived by eating toothpaste. But he, the article says, hey, yeah, this trail, the Ao Tai Pass, it's an area that's so dangerous it's been officially banned for years. But this guy, just decided, hey, I'm going to ignore the sign. I don't listen. And then sure enough, 2 days in, his electronics died, leaving him stranded at 2,500 meters. No GPS, no food, no way to call for help. Things went from bad to worse when he fell multiple times, breaking his right arm because nothing says thrill seeker like taking on a deadly mountain range and losing to gravity. So with no food, he turned to the only thing he had left, toothpaste. Most of us use it to fight cavities. This guy used it to fight starvation. No big deal. He spent the next 10 days drinking river water, eating snow, sleeping behind a rock, which sounds less like a hiking trip and more like one of those, rejected episodes of Survivor Dentist Edition. Rescuers finally found him after they saw smoke from his fire, and called out. The whole operation involved over 30 people and reportedly cost his family a hefty sum in rescue fines. Could you imagine after 10 days of surviving, you get rescued, you're all happy to be back to normal, but then you get grounded because your family had to pay this much money because of your dumb mistake. All right, let's talk about the little things that say way more about a person than they think. This Reddit thread I'm looking at, what's a seemingly small red flag that actually tells you a lot about someone? The person who can flawlessly ignore everything you say and redirect the conversation back to themselves. Oh, you just told them your grandma's in the hospital? Cool. Anyway, here's a 20-minute story about their weekend brunch. And then there's, how people talk about someone the second they leave the room, if they're trashing their quote-unquote best friend the moment they're gone. Just know your name is coming up real soon. Another classic, how they treat waiters and cashiers. Anybody who acts like royalty, demanding their peasants bring them ketchup, stop being friends with that person. I despise people like that. My own grandpa was like that. Yelled at some waitress for saying she was the worst he's ever had. How can you do that to somebody? I mean, really, they're working hard. Customer service absolutely sucks, which is why I'm kind of glad that people my age, younger, probably a little bit older too, they're transitioning from like the old person era where like they lived by that mantra, the customer is always right. I'm glad we're getting rid of that. There's no need for that anymore. The customer is hardly ever right. That should be the phrase. Just know if you have a golden toilet, people are going to try to steal it. That's what happened over in the UK in a heist that could only be dubbed Operation Golden Throne. The thieves made off with an 18-karat gold toilet from Blenheim Palace, the birthplace of Winston Churchill. Wasn't your average bathroom fixture. It was a fully functional art piece titled America by the Italian artist Maurizio Catalan. Valued at a whopping £5 million, the burglars executed their plan in the pre-dawn hours, crashing through the palace gates with stolen vehicles, making a beeline for the Golden Loo. In under 5 minutes, they had detached the 98-kilogram masterpiece, causing significant water damage in the process. Talk about a royal flush gone wrong. Okay, sorry for the bad pun there. But as the trial unfolds, prosecutors described the theft as an audacious raid. So one defendant, Michael Jones, allegedly scoped out the palace twice before the heist, even snapping photos of the targeted bathroom. Wait, so this art piece is in the bathroom itself? Is that what? I don't know. I feel like I would be tempted to use it. Okay, if I were to go to this art museum's bathroom or whatever museum, whatever palace this place is, and I go there and I see a golden toilet, of course, I'm making a beeline for that toilet there. So we just talked about how these thieves took a golden toilet that was an art piece out of a palace, but at least there's reasons for that theft there, right? Well, there's no reason as to why somebody would steal the kitchen sink from this restaurant in England as well. This restaurant owner said he's used to customers leaving his place with items like silverware and drink glasses, but he's completely puzzled by somebody just taking the sink from the bathroom. He reviewed the surveillance footage, was shocked to see a woman walk into the restroom carrying a bag that appeared to be empty, and then leave with the same bag that had a noticeable bulge. The sink is not very big, but it is a designer basin, I guess, worth about $200. She also swiped the attached pipes, too. Must be tough for this lady. You can tell she went in with a plan. She thought about it maybe for weeks, maybe just a day, but she thought about it. She's like, I really like that sink at this particular restaurant. Maybe I should steal it. And sure enough, she got away with it. How are they going to find her? Are they going to check every single person? Well, they have her face, don't they? Yeah, they have her face. So they'll just find out where she lives, inspect her bathroom, see that it's there, and then take it back. Imagine you're on a 15-hour flight from Melbourne to Venice, enjoying the luxury of extra space with an empty seat beside you. Then out of nowhere, a fellow passenger collapses and, despite the crew's best efforts, passes away mid-flight. Now, instead of a peaceful journey, you're sitting next to a deceased passenger for the next 4 hours. That's exactly what happened to this couple. On a Qatar Airways flight, the crew, unable to move the body due to its size, asked one of the people of the couple to switch seats, placing him next to the deceased woman. And then the girl, the relationship, she was moved to another row. The couple described the experience as heartbreaking and felt neglected by the airline staff, who neither moved them away from the body nor contacted them post-incident for support. Now they're getting national coverage, so somebody high up at Qatar will be like, hey, we're so sorry. They're not really sorry. They're going to offer the cheapest compensation possible and then say, have a great rest of your life, and then hang up the phone, right? Upon landing, emergency services had to remove the body. So not only did they have to sit next to the body, they had to wait for emergency services to go on board and remove this body. Yeah, passengers were asked to remain seated during the process. So the guy, Mitchell, is that his name? Mitchell Rain, Jennifer Cullen, that's the couple I was talking about. Mitchell emphasized the need for emotional support, feeling that Qatar Airways had not adequately addressed their well-being. I mean, yeah, could you imagine sitting next to a rotting corpse? Would you poke at it? That could be a great to peach their own question. You're on a flight and someone dies. Would you poke the dead body? Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, a.k.a. Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.